Now he's with the Atlanta Falcons. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, superstar of the documentary series Quarterback on Netflix, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk.
How you doing, brother?
Honored to be referred to as a friend of the program. That's a real honor.
Okay, I like that I threw it out there just to see, and you responded with, that is the case. We are honored, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, big time.
The honor is ours. The honor is ours. We've been fans, obviously, of yours long time. We think you're a human being who, I think as a quarterback and the way you've played and the games you played in, was kind of misrepresented for a while. You know, there's a lot of things said about Kirk Cousins football. Now it feels like everybody understands that you're a dog, that you're a dude. How does it feel going down to Atlanta and having the success that you guys are having in your first year down there, Kirk?
You know, it's been fun. I think it was interesting because we did start 1-2, and we got it handed to us against the Steelers. The Chiefs got us on Sunday Night Football. We really didn't play our best football to start the season, and so at first it was kind of a tough start. But we've been able to bounce back here in the last few weeks and play better football and get to 6-3. But by no means do I feel like we figured it out. I think, as you guys all know, that their season really is the back half of the season now. You've got to be playing your best ball, and it's kind of all out in front of us to go get. So that's where we are, but we're having fun, enjoying it, and I really do like our group down here.
Yeah, you got a great group around you. Zach, obviously, on the offensive side is calling great plays, dialing it up. You two seemingly on the same page. One of the boys is going to ask about that, but let's talk about Pitts a little bit, because whenever Pitts was drafted top 5, he was like the first tight end to be drafted top 5 since Ditka, maybe? I forget. It was a long time, and the expectations were so big. It doesn't start out his career the way he wanted it to, and then you guys had a conversation this offseason, I think I heard listening to one of your games, and what has he meant to your offense, and what do you think about him and how he's developed this year as a pro?
Yeah, you said it. Injuries have been hard for him in year 2 and 3. Year 1, he went to the Pro Bowl, but year 2 and 3 was hard to stay healthy. And then this year, it just felt like we needed to build a rapport going back to OTAs and through training camp and kind of get a feel for what he does really well, and then be able to accentuate that. And his plays against Tampa a couple weeks ago, not a lot of tight ends in the league are able to pull away the way he did and give us 2 touchdowns and explosive gains on big downs, 3rd and 4th down. So, huge for us. Then he had a big play in the game on Sunday against Dallas on a 3rd and long, was able to kick it out to him in the flat, and thinking we're kind of conceding it down, going to kick a field goal. He makes somebody miss, gets us to a 4th and short, and we're able to go for it. And then the next play, Mooney scores a touchdown. So the message to Kyle after Mooney scored was, hey, Kyle, without you, we're not scoring that touchdown. So it's such a team game, and Kyle's done a great job helping our football team.
New regime down there. Everybody bought in. D-Bud has a question for you, Kirk.
Yeah, got some great weapons. Those guys have some great years. But Zach Robinson, you've played for some good offensive coordinators throughout your career. I feel like you're definitely settling in this offense. What is it about his style, his play style, and him as a coach, as a person, that you guys are meshing so well?
Yeah, Zach's a great football mind. He's got a good balance of really being like a calm personality that's very steady, while also still being very direct and making things clear. So I've enjoyed working with him. We have a shared history there with Sean McVay, and he was around Kevin O'Connell and some of the other coaches I've been around, like Wes Phillips and Chris O'Hara. So I think it's fun to kind of have never intersected in our own careers, but to have a lot of the same shared people and shared system. And then now we've kind of paired together to build what the 2024 Falcons need to look like, which is different from the 23 Vikings or the 23 Rams. And trying to create that with the personnel we have here. But it's been fun working with him. And he's my 9th play caller in 13 years. So I've kind of gotten around the bend here, learning a lot of different play callers and how things look.
Well, that's why you have that brain thing on. Remember, that super brain thing that we saw in quarterback. Obviously, it's working. Hey, got to learn a new offense every year, seemingly. Also, seems like you're learning new dances and stuff down in Atlanta. Is Zach helping out with the "We come to fight, beat your ass,
we fight no cap.
We take
walk
over
in your trap,
take over your trap."
Yeah, so we
repeat.
Yeah, and then we're swag surfing. Obviously, we saw you swag surfing down there. How has it been? How has it been down there in Atlanta, getting introduced to a whole new world? City.
Yeah, we were playing the Saints week 4, and it was a TV timeout in the 4th quarter, and I was just kind of standing around and noticed the whole stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, was going left, right with the Swag Surf song, and I thought, this is pretty good. I like this. So I made a mention of it at the press conference after the game, and then the next week we beat Tampa, and the whole crowd after the game, they were playing the song and was going left, right. So I was just kind of trying to be the conductor, getting them going left and right, and that's my goal, is to kind of win and play well enough that when they play that song in the fourth quarter, the whole place is rocking. And there's no better feeling than that as a player when you can create that. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk, it's not news.
Kirk, you know it. The next step of that is not being the conductor. You got to find somebody to your left, somebody to your right. You just got to
lean with it.
Yeah, that's it. Just
keep it. Yeah, be cool. I kind of overdid. I'm trying too hard.
Cool.
I need to do less.
Yeah, be cool, Kirk. Come on,
do you, Kirk.
Be cool. Yeah, you'll continue to grow. We need the chains back, obviously.
For sure.
The bars to start the thing. The swag surfing. It feels like you're absolutely at home, and it's been fun to watch. Go ahead, AJ.
Kirk, I've seen you. You've mentioned your head coach Raheem Morris and how he is done such a good job building the culture there in such a short time. Like, what's he like as a leader? What's he like day to day? We've had him on here, obviously, unbelievable energy at all times, super positive guy. Like, what's it like with him every single day in the facility?
Yeah, not much is going to get him. I was with him when he was a DB coach in Washington, my first 3 years in the league. And as a DB coach, it's one thing to be relaxed and kind of have a glass half full perspective. But usually when your responsibilities increase, the stress level increases with it, and that can kind of affect your personality and how you project to the team. And I assume that naturally as a head coach, he's going to be a little more uptight, have a little more on his plate. But he's the same guy he was 10 years ago when I was with him in Washington. I mean, not much gets him. The stuff will get me, but I don't ever see it really get to him. And I think as a player, that's very comforting because you never feel like he's hitting the panic button. You never feel like he's riding the roller coaster. So I try to balance that out by being the guy who's on top of everything and holding people, to a ridiculous standard. But no, he's been a joy to work with, and I think our team feeds off of his energy.
That's good teamwork there. You need that. Obviously, everybody aligned. There was a time where a lot of people were questioning whether or not alignment was happening in Atlanta. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Kirk, draft night, they take Michael Penix, and, everyone's kind of blown away considering the investment they put in you. And I think even you were kind of shocked. You go down there, and then they spend this high draft pick on a quarterback. But since that point, there's no question about it. It is your team, obviously. But what is your relationship like with Michael Penix at this point, day in, day out? I don't know. I feel like that was such a big story at the start of the year, and now at this point, with how well you've played, it's kind of a non-starter.
Well, I think the nature of the quarterback room is always that we're kind of doing this together. And while one guy plays, what I've always felt that when I'm the starting quarterback is that I feel like I'm in there in a room together all week long preparing with Michael, with Nate Peterman, with TJ Yates, with DJ Williams, and we're kind of this working force together. And fans don't get to see that, but that's really what it is. And so I've always leaned heavily on the whole quarterback room to help me through the week of preparation, help me through the season, and help me through the game week in and week out. So that's always going on behind the scenes, and I think it's a big reason why, an offense can be successful is when you have a great quarterback room that's all working together.
Do you think you have that perspective more because you're a backup quarterback whenever you came into the league? Do you think that?
Yeah, I think honestly, Pat, I think it's a combination of, yes, certainly I was a backup for 3 years, and it was, for me, I've learned it's a marathon, not a sprint, and it was a great scenario for me to kind of be sitting for a little while before playing more. But I also just think that in this league, I'm just observing, there's always room for good quarterback play. And so to have two guys on the team, if you're playing well, doing your job, I think we're both going to be able to have great careers and have bright futures. And so
how's his?
There's plenty of room.
How's his? Have you seen his swag?
I haven't seen his, but I have seen him dance to some music at practice, and he's pretty skilled. So I'm sure his swag.
Pretty talented, pretty skilled guy. He's got a pretty good level of dancing. Better than B-girl Ray Gun from Australia.
No
Did you
way.
see her?
I don't have context on that one.
Did you didn't see the breakdancing in the Olympics? Breakdancing in the Olympics?
I did see breakdancing in the Olympics. Yep.
Did you?
I did.
So
that means you saw
the
it.
Australian?
You do have context then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think Penix better dancing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's why he gets picked number 8 overall.
Yeah, seen him freestyling.
That's the type of thing that happens. That leads to that type of shit. Now, let's talk about you bouncing back, big recovery. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Kirk, you mentioned the 1 and 2 start. When did it kind of click for you, and did you feel all the way back from the Achilles? Because obviously, you've been dancing around in the pocket as of late, and we've even talked about it on here, like, oh yeah, Kirk's all the way back. But was there a game or a specific play where you made something happen and knew, like, okay, I'm good, my Achilles is fine, I can just go out there and play ball?
It was less the Achilles and more just feeling rusty or a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know if it was the fact that I'd been out since week 8 last year and just had missed a lot of football, or if it was new players around me. If in training camp when you have a red jersey and nobody's hitting you and then suddenly you got live bullets, if that kind of changed things. But for whatever reason, it just took a few weeks to really feel like, okay, now I have a better understanding of what this needs to look like. And I'm starting to feel like I did, a year and a half ago. So it was more probably the mental and just being comfortable with everything than the Achilles. But I remember I threw an interception in training camp and chased after the DB all the way down the field. And I remember after chasing him and almost catching him, I thought, okay, my Achilles is back. So it took an interception to learn that my Achilles was where I needed it to be.
All right, Kirk, you still
got
it. I mean, let's not throw the ball to the other team, but we still got it if we need it. Were you going to make a tackle if you catch up to that person in training camp? What are you doing? Putting your arm around?
I was going to try to chop, strip it. No, I did that in the Pro Bowl, like way back on Aqib Talib. He thought I was just going to concede the down and he was going to score a touchdown. And like at the 5-yard line, right when he's about to score, I just come out of nowhere and knock the ball out. And so you can't fall asleep on me. I may be you may be hearing footsteps, and that may be me.
You might be hearing footsteps, and that may be me. What a bar.
Put on the shirt.
Man, everything, if I die, I die. Yep. You might be hearing footsteps, and it may be me. I mean, Kirk, you're an absolute legend, dude. I think they had you misrepresented forever.
Yeah.
That's why I think that quarterback show was so awesome. Have you had, obviously going to a new team, new city, new fan base, a lot of them mention that quarterback series and saying, saw you on that, and how has the reaction been? Because you were clearly star of the show, which is a cool thing.
Well, my wife was really the star of the show.
True.
But I guess I may have finished second. I don't know. Mahomes winning Super Bowl MVP and league MVP. He did a nice job too. But I'll say that, yes, I think that my wife certainly will walk through the grocery store and they'll come up to my wife now and they'll say, I watched you on Netflix. So that's kind of fun, so that she now has to deal with some of that too. But no, it was a great, I got great feedback, and I was thankful to Kevin and Kwesi in Minnesota for even allowing me to do that, because a lot of teams, organizations would say, no way. And so they were kind enough to say, we understand, the benefit that this is for you, for our organization, let's do it. And so I'll kind of always be grateful to them for that.
I haven't seen it talked about much. How are the wardrobes this year from the wife?
They're okay. I've been getting good feedback. My wife's kind of mixed it up. So early in the year, she kind of kept me more uncomfortable, laid back attire. It's a little warmer down here in Atlanta that time of year. But last week, she had me suited and booted. I was in a nice red sport coat. So every week, you never know what she's going to bring. But I know last Sunday, she brought straight heat.
What about the beard? The beard is awesome, too.
Yeah, great beard.
Beard's in good
The beard, my beard, usually I kind of keep it away in the off season, and then during the season I have to kind of get in that mind state of the beard. So I tend to grow it during the season. My wife likes the beard. She kind of always makes the final call. And
smart.
Our team nutritionist down here, Steve Benjamin, he has a massive beard, and we were 1-1 after beating the Eagles, and I didn't start growing my beard till the second game. And he came up to me and he said, Kirk, our team is 1-1, but the beard is 1-0. And so he made it pretty clear that the beard needed to stay. So it's stayed ever since.
Nutritionist also fucking observational hero.
Yeah. Bit of a doubt.
Are you growing that thing all the way out?
No, I won't get out of control. I let it go in 2019, real nice, and I had to rein it back in. I've never done that again.
I think now's the time, Kirk.
Yeah, I should think about it.
Yeah, especially with.
Well, I'll give it a thought, but ultimately it's got to go through the good lady, Mrs. Cousins. We'll see what she says.
You're right. Hey, listen, Mrs. Cousins, we would just like to say, would be sweet to see Kirk Cousins walk out there with a fucking.
Yeah, Grizzly Adams.
Oh,
think about it.
How's it been that's her home state, right? Georgia?
It is. She grew up in Atlanta. She was someone who loved Minnesota, loved the people there, the team, all her friends. So she left Minnesota in tears. But her family, her parents, her siblings, she had 2 older brothers, lifelong Atlanta sports fans. I mean, this is a dream come true for them. And so, they're loving it. I think she's loving being here. But it's interesting because people assume, oh, Julie, loves being in Atlanta. It's like, well, she probably misses Minnesota just as much, but certainly if we had to leave, Atlanta's not a bad spot.
She's awesome. It was great to chat with her at that quarterback thing, and obviously you two are a great tag team, which is what we saw in that quarterback documentary and everything else. And I would like to take back what I said to Mrs. Cousins a few moments ago about the beard. Mrs. Cousins, I have a different request. We need this back. We need. Yeah.
So that was Mustache Monday last year in training camp. I told the guys, I gave them about a 2-week head start, which really wasn't enough. I should have given them a little more. And then the other lesson I learned was if you put Mustache Monday a little too close to week 1, the guys don't like that because they don't like that, they're going to not have the perfect look week 1. So we had Mustache Monday. Most of the O-line participated, and I let the handlebar mustache go. And I thought that was a win. I think I rocked it pretty well.
Yes,
but,
that needs to be your face, maybe. That should be your face.
We're going to bring Mustache Monday back to the Falcons next year during training camp, and I think it's going to be a real win for
That's
the team.
so far away.
Make it now.
That's so we're talking about next week. We're talking about middle of the season, second half of the year. You see how cool you look? Nobody looks like that.
We can do that. I will say, Pat, you're going to do that with a handlebar mustache. You better play well. It doesn't look very cool when you walk to the sideline after a pick six. Take your helmet off. So
You're right,
if we can guarantee I'm going to play well, I can do all kinds of facial hair.
You're right. Mustache Mondays are in training camp.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mustache Monday. You're going to play good with that mustache. You're Kirk Cousins, obviously.
Defense
you can't not play well, right?
Yeah, the extra pressure as you're jogging out on the field. Holy shit.
God, I'm going to look like a fucking idiot.
This mustache is just weighing me down.
You brought up the O-line with Mustache Monday. AQ has a question for you, Kirk.
Kirk, I love looking at the run game every week around the league, and I love what you guys are doing. Chris Lindstrom's by far my favorite offensive lineman to watch every week. A couple weeks ago against Carolina, you guys ran kind of a play like San Fran used to run with like the escort motion, but absolutely depleted the 3 technique. Where did that play come from, and how did you guys come about that in the offense?
Yeah, it's something that San Fran has done quite a bit, and it's a copycat league. And we've got a guy, Charlie Werner, our tight end from San Fran, who does it as well as anybody. We love to send him on those motions and let him kind of clean up the trash. And nobody cuts better on the second level than Chris Lindstrom. I feel like linebackers every week got to be watching the tape, going, "Oh no, I got to be aware of 63 here because he is going to cut me if I'm not ready for it." So Chris is a real deal. Jake Matthews is a real deal. Bergeron, our left guard, is a tremendous young player in this league. Caleb McGarry's done a phenomenal job at right tackle, and at center, Newsel and Dahlman have done a great job. So we got a good group, and as a progression passer who wants to get through, the whole progression, these guys give me a lot of time to do that.
Yeah, you want your 4th read, it feels like, against Dallas. I might have been wrong, but I was just watching your body, and it just looked like 7-on-7. Okay, and there was a lot of moments like that. That is a massive credit to that offensive line. He's been talking about him all year, seemingly, down there in Atlanta.
No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to be clean, and even just the lack of hits too. Like physically, when you can wake up Monday morning and your body just isn't beat up, you have your O-line to thank. And like right here, I'm just hitching, and then even when I throw it, after all those hitches, there's still nobody around me, or I'm not ending up on the ground. So very grateful for that, and it enables me to find the open guy and get to number 5 in the progression. It helps our offense, helps our football team. So I'm going to keep challenging those guys to do that.
Hell, smart. That sounds like a good idea. You keep dropping bars, though. I think they're going to want to go out there for you.
They'll probably block harder for a mustache, too.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it, because Mustache Monday, you're kind of paying tribute to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, if you don't do it, it's almost.
Hey, boys.
Yeah, now I'm feeling the pressure. If I have a normal beard or a shaved face, I feel like that's going to create pressure now in the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. We want you to have a good time on the show, not more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I may need to go like full Civil War general facial hair. We'll see.
Chops?
Like the chops?
Yeah. I think that's maybe the next step.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. What was the into the mustache, right? Like the chop.
Yeah, no chin.
Right.
Yeah, no chin.
Yeah.
No chin.
Yeah.
Like
I think there was a Civil War general who had that, and I don't hate it.
Mutton chops, right? Mutton chops.
Yeah, is that what they're called?
I think mutton.
But that they don't connect. Those come down like to here.
Yeah,
we're
talking
talking about a
here
connector.
to here.
Yeah.
Here.
Just the chin is visible.
I think anything but like a really small mustache is good. You know,
well said. That's on. Yeah, you can't touch that.
Yeah, like really.
You want to lose every platform in society that you may have.
Yeah, there it is. Really.
Yeah, that might be it.
God damn, is that what you're doing?
There it is.
That'll be.
Is that Kirk Cousins?
Oh my God!
I promise you. The second you throw an interception, that is no longer cool.
Yeah. Valid. That's quarterback life, though.
And don't throw them.
I mean, don't throw a pick.
Just play perfect.
Yeah,
play perfect. That's
for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
What do we not know about the Atlanta Falcons this year? You think? What do we? What should get talked about down there? You love the facility, love the culture.
You know what? I think, let me hit you with this. I think there's some guys in this team that I didn't know about in Minnesota, from a distance. We hadn't played them in a while. And I got here, and whether it's Chris Lindstrom, Jake Matthews, Troy Anderson, Jesse Bates, A.J. Terrell, certainly Grady Jarrett at 3 Technique was a guy I knew well about before getting here. But there's a lot of good football players on this team who are kind of underrated, overlooked, and so I just have a lot of respect for our group, and I'm excited because if we can keep winning, I think some of those guys are going to no longer be underrated and overlooked, and so I'm excited to see if we can get that done.
Hey, same with you, Kirk. Same with you in that entire story. I can't wait to see what you guys do. Thank you so much for taking time. Good luck with your facial hair, man. I hope it's not too pressure packed. Hope it's not.
Hey, you're gonna see. You're gonna see. I can't hide it. So. We'll see what we do.
All right. Good luck out there. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk.